Hello and welcome back. In today's class, we will talk about differential piece wage system. How one should reward the workers working inside a factory. There is a normal piece wage system and then there is this differential piece wage system. Let's look at both. Let's compare and contrast both of them so that you will even understand differential piece wage system in a much better way. Okay, under the normal piece wage system, workers are rewarded the same amount of money irrespective of their output. Let's say you are running a factory and there are 100 workers inside that factory. You will fix a constant rate for all the workers for working, say, a shift of 7 hours or 8 hours. You will decide an amount, say, for a 7-hour shift, a worker gets 300 rupees, or for an 8-hour shift, a worker gets 400 rupees. It doesn't matter how each and every worker produces the X number of quantity or more than X or less than X. It doesn't matter to you. You are quite generous about it and you reward your workers based on the hours they worked. What is the advantage of this? The advantage is that it is quite simple. You can simply calculate the daily total wage cost by multiplying the number of workers employed that day versus the cost per worker for that shift. You will get the daily total cost easily. That's the only advantage. But what could be the disadvantageous factor in that? Workers, when they know they are going to get a fixed amount of reward at the end of the day, will tend to work slower and slower. They will not bring that enthusiasm into work every day. What happens? Let's say you have fixed 300 rupees per worker for 8 hours. It doesn't matter how much he produces at the end of the day. So what that worker generally will do, maybe for a first couple of weeks, he will come to the work with drive and enthusiasm and he will work almost to the fullest of his capability. But then eventually he will get bored of this routine and he will know that anyway, even if I push myself so hard and struggle so badly, I'm going to get 300. And even if I slack off a little bit or kind of roam around here and there and produce a little less amount of output, I'm going to still get the same wage. So why to trouble myself? Let me coast off a bit. That's how the natural tendency of the workers' thinking will go eventually. And when a couple of workers start to do like this, start to think and behave like this inside a team, it will naturally spread to the other efficient workers also. Now, this will eventually lead to lower and lower output per day, and eventually the production cost will increase. So, Taylor came up with an idea to counter this drawback, that he has proposed this concept of differential piece wage system. So, according to his theory, he will classify workers into efficient and inefficient. How can he classify people as efficient and inefficient? So Taylor says that every factory should have a daily target output fixed. So let's say you are also again in your factory's case, now you have fixed a target of every worker should produce at least 200 units. It can be anything. It can be, let's say you are running a packaging company and for the sake of simplicity, the product is the same. You just have to make the workers come and pack the products with the primary packaging, and then they have to also, let's say, shrink wrap it, and it should be made for selling. Pretty much it takes the same amount of work, same type of work for all the workers, for all the units. So we have simplified our example. In that situation, you will fix a target of every day a worker should at least do this type of packaging for 200 units. Now, this is the daily target. Then you will compare the output of each and every worker at the end of the day. Let's say I also said you have 100 workers in your factory. Out of the 100 workers, let's say 80 workers have completed this target of 200. Among this 80, some people have even exceeded the target of 200 units of output, and then the rest 20, they fell short of this 200 units. Let's say they produced only 180 or 190 units. Now you will start to see the workers getting classified into efficient and inefficient. Okay, what after you found out who was efficient and who was inefficient? Taylor says that reward the efficient workers more and penalize the inefficient workers a little bit. Now we can see our example. The target fixed was 200 units, and instead of having one standard rate for every worker, we have two differential rates, which is if the worker exceeds the daily target of 200, then they get to earn 12 rupees per unit for the entire output that they produced. But if the workers are falling short of this 200, then their per unit wage rate drops to only 8 per unit for the entire output produced. Now let's say there is an efficient worker and there is this inefficient worker. The efficient worker makes 220 units of output, so he gets to earn 12 rupees per unit, thereby the wage at the end of the day will be 2640. And let's say there is this inefficient worker, he managed to manufacture only 180 units, and thereby he gets to earn only 8 per unit. Therefore his daily earning at the end of the day is only 1440. Now what will happen, this inefficient workers will eventually get to know that they made only 1440 per day, but there are some other people who are working much better than them and they are taking home 2640 per day. So this will sort of drive that competition factor into them, and they will also start to feel that, okay, let me see how I can shape up myself so that in the next day when I come, my output will increase eventually. So now every worker start to have a healthy competition between each other, and therefore if each and every worker starts to maximize their output, then imagine the cumulative effect that will have on the entire factory level. So that's how Taylor believes and also proven this fact by using this differential piece wage system. The outputs have phenomenally increased in whichever factory they have applied this concept.